What's up, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are in a 1969 Chevrolet Nova with a 396 and a 4-speed. So I got this Nova actually from some local customers. They were over in Paris, Texas. It's about 45 minutes away from me here in Sherman. They had the Nova for quite some time, and they told us they got it from a family member that lived in California. And the car was redone about 25 or so years ago, in the late 90s is kind of what they told me. And just kind of judging by the overall condition of the car, I definitely believe that. And then kind of going along with some of the receipts that we have as well, it kind of all fits in line. Mechanically, it's not the original driveline. It has a stock style 396 with a little bit of a cam in it, but as far as performance wise, it's just a good cruising setup. Has a 4-speed behind it. It does have a little bit of gear in the rear end, somewhere probably in the low threes, like a 373 if I had to guess. Like right now we're cruising about 65, 70 miles an hour, and you're probably closing in on 3,000 RPM, so a little bit of gear, but nothing too crazy. But overall drivability, it cruises awesome. Like, you let up the steering wheel, it goes really nice and straight. All the suspension and all the steering stuff looks good on it. So just a stock style cruising car other than the gear ratio in the back. As far as the underneath goes, it is a rock solid Nova. The floors, the frame rails, the bottom side of the trunk is very solid. Real indicative of a West Coast car. The only spot I found is there's a small little spot on the toe board that's been kind of redone, just a really, really small spot. But again, a no rust car. The bottom side looks excellent and very dry. The body itself is also really clean. Again, being a car that's painted 20, 25 years ago, you're going to get some little imperfections in the paint and body. There's a few little nicks, a few little flaws here and there, but nothing that's egregious that's jumping out at you at like bad body work or bubbles or anything like that. It does have a really cool custom hood on it. They took a Nova hood, and then it's a metal hood. It's not an aftermarket fiberglass hood. It's a metal hood that they grafted a Chevelle cowl and a Chevelle flapper onto, which actually gives the car a really cool look, a very unique setup. When you sit there and you tap the throttle when it's not moving, the flapper will actually move a little bit more than when you're going down the road, but it does function. Where the cowl meets the flat part of the, it popped out of gear there. Where the cowl meets the flat portion of the hood, there are some little imperfections in the paint there, kind of where they did that body work back in the day. Nothing that's splitting or coming apart. It's just you see a few flaws in the paint there. And then on the vinyl top, there's like a little, I don't really want to call it a dent, but I guess that's kind of what it is. On the back portion of the vinyl top there, right above the quarter glass, there's like a small little spot in the vinyl top that's kind of got like a little pushed in area. On the interior, it is a factory bucket seat car. It was originally a red interior car with a red exterior, but they swapped it over to black interior. My guess is there was a console at some point, because there is a small spot here in the carpet where there's two little like square spots with two little holes that were drilled. So my guess is it probably had a little console, or maybe something else was mounted there at one point. But the rest of the interior looks clean. There's a little spot in the dash right there as well. Gauges are all easy to read. Standard dash, so you just have your fuel gauge on the left, which actually doesn't work, and then you have your speedo. And then under the dash, you have the two gauges for the oil pressure and the water temperature, and both of those work. We'll get on it here a little bit. Pulls good. Not a a race car, not going to be a tire shredder or anything like that, but it's got enough power to pull you down the road. Again, some of the things that don't work on the interior, you have your fuel gauge, which isn't reading right, it probably needs a sending unit, and then your horn doesn't do anything, and then it just has a stock style radio, which does come on, but it's nothing that's going to play any like Bluetooth or anything like that. Do have a good size folder of some receipts and miscellaneous paperwork that'll go with this car. Like I mentioned a second ago, it was a factory red car with red bucket seat interior. So it wasn't the bench seat, it was a bucket seat car, which is really cool. I prefer the black on the black over the red on the red, but that's kind of to each their own. All my personal cars are black, so this car looks good to me. Just a really good driving Nova. Interior, the seat covers are in nice shape. The foam feels good. Headliner's also in good shape. Visors are nice. Door panels have been replaced at some point. They look a little bit newer than the rest of the interior. Inside the trunk is also really clean. It's spatter painted. No issues with rust. No issues on the inside of the trunk at all. We'll go take it down our bumpy road here. I sell quite a few Novas. I probably sell more Novas than I do Chevelles, due to the fact that Chevelles are just so expensive now. And you can get into a big block 4-speed Nova for quite a bit less than you can than a Chevelle. If there's anything mechanically that I'm going to complain about on this car, the clutch engage is a little bit higher than where I would normally like. It doesn't have any slipping or any issues with the clutch. It's just when you're letting off the pedal, where it starts to engage is a little bit higher than I like. I still think there's plenty of life left in the clutch, and there probably is some adjustment there with the clutch and the pedal to put that where you'd want it. But at some point, it might need a clutch. But right now it's performing well, just kind of engaging a little bit higher than I normally like. As far as glass goes, you have manual windows like almost all of these came with. The windows roll up and down like they should. The vent glasses open and close like they should. The windshield is nice, no wiper marks, no major stone chips, and then the back glass looks good as well. All your bright work like the chrome and the trim. The bumpers very well could be original. They still have a great shine to them, which with some smaller imperfections here and there. Suspension feels good. It's all stock style equipment. No weird shakes, no weird shimmies. Sometimes you hop in these old cars and they're just kind of rattle traps. This one is not like that at all. Brakes nice and straight as well. Downshifts through the gears really easy. Goes into reverse like it should as well. That's something I don't usually show in the videos because I don't really back a lot of cars into spots after the videos, but we do always check that. Oh, popped out of gear. I'll have to cut that out, Devin, sorry. All right. Last little straightaway here, and we'll head back to the shop. Has a nice exhaust tone to it, where you can hear the exhaust, but it's not too loud where you can't have a conversation with the person sitting next to you. Just a good quality Nova for the price point. Very rare do I get something that's a big block 4-speed that's nice and solid, that's in the low 30s. I got into this car a little bit better than I usually can get into something, so we did a trade deal with our local customers, so I was able to offer this at a little bit better of a price. If it had AC, if it was a little bit newer cosmetically, I'd probably be asking upper 30s like most of my Novas, or even into the 40s if they have a lot of options like 4-wheel discs. But this is a great car for the money. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that you want to see or hear, don't hesitate to leave a comment on the YouTube channel, or you can call or text me directly at 903-820-1019. If you don't already follow us, check us out at PCClassicCars.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're on across all social platforms, and the handle's going to be PC Classic Cars. And I'll see you guys on the next test drive video. Thanks again for stopping in.